We're on DayZ on the PlayStation 4. This is the base model, just so you guys know. I had to buy PS Plus in order to play this, so I got it for a month. So I hope you guys appreciate the effort. Yeah, so this is kind of just really my raw first impressions of the game. This is the first time I played it, first time I got it finally set up after having to deal with so many server things where it's like, this server is busy. It's like, the game is super popular, just like it was on Xbox when it first released there. So first impressions right off the bat is that, yeah, I mean, obviously it's the same experience, but the performance isn't really as great as what I'm used to on the Xbox One X. Well, obviously, noticing a bit more kind of flatter textures out in the distance. I'm saying that in regards to the trees over there. And obviously I'm already noticing some frame drops, and yeah, it's not rendering quite as well, and there's screen tearing present too. Is this what it's like on the base Xbox? Is that what it's like all the time? Is this what people keep complaining about? Oh jeez. Okay. Yeah, a lot of frame drops. So I guess maybe you're like kind of checking on this as your first foray into DayZ on, you know, your console or whatever. It's a PC game first, and they work there, and then there's also the Xbox version, and now it's on PlayStation as well, so it's been ported over a few times, and I guess you're getting more of a refined version of the game just because of that. Oh jeez, you came out of nowhere, didn't you? So what you do in this game, for context, you know, for people that are new, so you more hardcore individuals, you know, calm down for a sec. Wow, that does not really work well. Yeah. So what you do in it is, it's an open world survival zombie game. The zombies really aren't the main threat. It's the other people that you meet along the way, the other humans, because you're in the servers of, I believe 60 is still the count here. And you're attempting to survive. You need to get food, water, and other tools in order to kind of do so. You've got to keep yourself going. Temperature is a factor. They've got sort of dynamic weather a little bit to this one too. And yeah, it's a very technical kind of game. Oh, I got a trophy. Cool. In my opinion, trophies are just useless. Anyways. So yeah, that's kind of what this game is. You know, you're surviving, there's zombies, you're trying to get weapons, you're trying to get tools, you're trying to, you know, make it out alive. And oh my god, the performance is horrendous on this. Everyone's like, oh, it's gonna run so much better on PlayStation. Yeah, okay. Definitely not seeing that, guys. Yeah, anyways. We're probably going to die here because this is, first off, not a good situation to be in. And it's not really a town I want to start at. Like, it's a good kind of town to go to a little bit later, but usually there's people with, like, guns and stuff here. Water fountain, really good spot to get stuff. So what I do, if you're not familiar with my DayZ work, is, well, I do a lot of the Xbox gameplay. I try to do more, like, sort of educational-based plays of the game. You know, I go around and try to focus on certain topics every time that I, you know, do a video and stuff and give tidbits about things. I think it's helped people out, and the community obviously has helped me out a lot by letting me know about certain things, and then I can relay that information. So I usually cover like patch notes and everything like that, you know, about the game. Wow, that is a lot of screen tearing. My god. Is it weird that it's kind of giving me a little bit of a headache, the performance in this one? I might want to die to get somewhere a little bit more central. So this is weird, but I'm going to head more towards the starting cities. Actually, maybe I'll jump off this roof and die so I get a better spawn. Server will be restarted in 20 minutes. Oh. I didn't know you could do this. Did anybody else know you could do this? I've never done this on the Xbox version. This is new. Did you guys know you could do this? I feel like you're not supposed to be able to do this. This is like advanced sniping, isn't it? Like, could you imagine just being here with a sniper? I didn't know you could do this. I can't wait to hear responses about this. That's great. So I love how I waited so long to get into like a, well, I didn't wait, but like I had to could refresh the servers a ton and go like to the middle of the list for even like a high server that wasn't like super full. Now it's gonna restart. I think we'll have enough time. Anyways, yeah, they restart the servers. There's like, you want persistence on so everything saves and stuff like that, because you can build bases and farming and that. But it's gonna take a while to get to. Just to give a kind of overlay of the HUD for newer players, if you look in the bottom right, those are your kind of main ingredients of life. You know, you've got from the far right corner, that's your health. You'll notice they'll go from white to basically yellow and then red as damage goes on. Beside that, that is your blood. Obviously blood's good. Your screen will get a little bit more faded in time. What is with all the zombies today? And I am bleeding right now. So you notice that I got cut by a zombie, and my stamina's down, which is not good. Anyways, we're going to fix that. Good time to go over that item. So you see on the far side there, there's now, you know, there's like a bit of a gap, and then there's this like slashy blood mark. That means you're bleeding, and you can also visibly see you're bleeding. In a future update, there's going to make the blood even more like sort of like visceral and visible. Just from what I was playing on PC and just what they mentioned in the patch notes, that's how I know that. I got a gun. The guns never have ammo or a clip in them, so no magazine. Sorry, gotta be all technical for people. Yeah. So beside blood is the temperature. It goes up and down. If you're sitting in water, you'll get cold and stuff like that. Willies. Beside that is your food, and then beside that is your water. So you obviously want to keep those up because you can kind of die of them. That's not good. You might also get other icons occasionally showing up. Is it just me or the zombies like strangely aggressive on the PlayStation version? Anyways. Yeah, sometimes you get like a weird sort of disease type symbol, and that means you picked up a disease. I'm going to try to fight them. Yeah, this is not going to go well. I'm going to die here, guys, but at least you get to see the respawn. You can also chat in game with people. I've got like a terrible little PlayStation mic in. And, yeah, I don't know how it works even. It's just like one of the stupid ones I think that comes with it. I really don't play multiplayer on this at all, because I really don't care. Yeah. Cool, this guy's neat. Gonna keep going on my way. Hopefully we don't have any conflict. So on the left-hand side, that's your stamina. Your stamina gets eaten up by things that you put on. Like you could put on like a shovel on your back. You can equip it in the shovel slot up there. And, yeah. And then it'll kind of weigh you down a bit. And you'll get less stamina to use. And you can see how the stamina bar gets used as I run. Beside that, you get kind of an icon that indicates your sound. So I'm making a lot of sound now. See, I stopped. Now I go. I stop. So you can kind of crouch and you can minimize your sound. You can also like prone around, stuff like that, and be all stealthy. It's completely up to you, obviously, how you move through things. I'm really going to do tips and tricks right after this, I'm guessing, because I'm already very familiar with the game. It's basically, well, it's essentially the exact same experience. It just doesn't run as well on here. Not knocking you guys. I mean, it's cool that the game's available, but I don't know. I thought it would be a little bit better performance. And again, I don't have like a basis for the base Xbox One. Just because I don't play it on there. Why would I? So you can double tap L1 and it's going to zoom in for you. So I'll just give you some of the little bits of information just for kind of getting through it. When you're moving around, you need to hold in the L2 and then you can press R2 in order to do like a slash, and then you can hold the triangle down and it does like a more intense slash. But it's a little bit harder of a hook, so you're not exactly going to get as much damage going on there. When you are playing, I definitely always suggest keeping to the beaches. That's where you're going to find the best supplies. You're going to find these overturned. Well, no, they're not all overturned, but you're going to find all these boats. And they're usually full of supplies such as like food or drink, and they're just the basic essentials. You might even find bags there that are good for holding resources. They're just basic sort of, seed type bags, little plastic ones. Obviously you want something better, but that's for later on. It's just a good, I don't know, momentarily helpful bag for you to get. A nice starter bag, really. Yeah, but they look like that, and they've got items on them. You'll find them in like groups of 2 or so. The map itself is actually quite massive in this game. It's very impressive, and there are a couple islands. I personally don't suggest going to any of the islands like that. I mean, there's some cool kind of stuff on it, but you're not really going to get any cool loot or anything, so it's not really worth your time. Like, I think this one's got a castle up there, and there's like a radio dish you can climb up, and then there's a little series of houses over on the far end, but not worth the journey, not worth the wetness, because things get damp and kind of ruined in this, so it's not exactly worth your time. Again, like guide-wise, if you're looking for something specific on the channel, I should have something for like basically everything in this game. And the only difference is going to be the button layout, but I mean the PlayStation, Xbox button things are basically the exact same in this one. I do find it neat that the middle sort of pad, the touch pad, is how you get through things. Menus are nice and snappy, so that's good. I know it's the exact same experience. I don't know what to tell you. It just runs a little worse. But I'm very curious if I'm going to get responses where people are going to be like, see, this is what we're dealing with on the base Xbox. I was like, oh, damn. It's better here. I think maybe just because the other areas, like, cities have the worst sort of kind of, like, performance issues going on. You'll get, like, a lot of frame drops. I don't know if I was really noticing a ton of frame drops there. It was more like screen tearing. I was having some frame drops and just general overall performance hiccups on this one. So hopefully they clean it out a bit more. And again, I'm noticing like a lot of sort of like pop-in. You're kind of noticing that with all the trees and stuff, just like the shadows and the textures. So, and the textures aren't really too fine cut on this. You're noticing a lot of, well, I'm noticing a lot of fuzzy little things around the edges. Crap. What's that sound? I'm gonna go drink water from the wetland, which is not necessarily a great idea, but you know, I need some water. Because you can get sick, which is why it's not a good idea. And then you get a little contagion icon. You'll notice right now another new icon has popped up. That is the wetness, because I'm sitting in water, obviously. But yeah, you can see my yellow bars slowly filling up. And, you know, now I've got more water in the tank. And I'm going to try to make it to some of the more main type city areas and stuff. A little bit more danger going on there, but I don't know how well equipped people are in this world yet. They may be really well done. I'm jumping into this a little bit later than I had anticipated. I was supposed to get a code directly from Bohemia, and then I ended up getting it through another portal I use for stuff. They were having issues with the North American codes, otherwise I could have been in like last week, because I was hoping to do like a whole weekend of sort of things. And with E3 coming up, we'll have to see what happens. I don't remember this being a thing here. Look, that guy's got like a gun, so he's probably going to be all tough and stuff. I don't remember that being a thing. He's probably just going to shoot me. I don't know. Well, let's see how this works out. Oh! Yeah, people are asses in this. They really don't. It's just as bad as on Xbox, isn't it? Where people just shoot and they don't try to talk or anything. That's kind of funny. I guess I could have used this terrible little mic thing. I've used this mic thing like once to talk to somebody on like Killing Floor, I think. There's literally like dust on it. It's disgusting. It's a one earpiece thing. I don't know. I think these consoles would have better gear with them, like headset wise. Oh good, we got the spawn exactly where I want it to be. This is like the main town, Selechninich or something. Again, I don't bother learning the terms, because it's all in another language that I don't know. Fix the mic piece here. So this is like the main town area. So what a lot of people do is they'll go out really far inland and they'll like gather loot and stuff, and then they'll come and they'll terrorize people in here. It's kind of how it goes. There's lots of gear to collect. There's actually like quite a fair bit of items. Try to get this guy in here. And then you just close the door on him. I'm pretty good at that. Sometimes I'm not too good at it, but you know, most of the time I do a fairly good job of cutting people out while cutting zombies into houses. But yeah, I was expecting this to run a little bit better. I am interested to jump into another server though, because I want to jump right into doing a tips and tricks right away, and then eventually review this. Again, this is just like my first kind of impressions of the game, getting in here, checking it out. I mean, obviously it's basically the exact same experience that I'm used to, so it makes my job a little bit easier. Yeah. Oh god, screen tearing. Oh, screen tearing. Oh shit, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Oh my god. The guns never have a magazine. Just get ready for that. Like, if you haven't played DayZ before, it's like, these are the most useless kind of situation, like weapons and stuff. They're useless. Unless you like get a body or something, you're not gonna ever find a gun that has something on it. The menu seems to work really well. I mean, like the inventory and stuff. I don't think that's what we're looking for. What is this? Oh, this like, what is a scorpion or something? Scorpion mag? Yeah, 30 RD, 30 rounds, 19.19. What do you take? Do you take 19.19? No, you take 0.45 ACP. Camo net. I don't really need that. I might take it just so you can see like how it has a little bit of an effect on my stamina there. Just a small amount, but you know, obviously you grab more stuff, you're gonna have more of a haunting effect on what your actual stamina bar can do. Get a school bag here, adorable with the igloo on it. I usually like the ladybug one, but you know, the igloo's fine for now. I also really like trapping zombies in houses because it's hilarious when other people like open the door and it's like, oh geez, there's a zombie there. See, that zombie doesn't seem to... No, he does care. Okay. And there's like a huge rolling effect. You like piss off one zombie. Oh my god. Oh, and these maps are super cool. If they load, they kind of show off like a whole thing of the map so you can see what everything looks like. Oh my god. How would you play the game in this kind of condition? Jeez. Yeah. And I closed doors on this guy. I want to see what's in that room, though. Sometimes up here you'll get weapons, so it's good to check that out. You know, when you have time and stuff. Oh, jeez. Okay. And you just gotta kind of get used to looting and understanding the buildings and everything like that. I mean, people still say I'm a terrible player at this, but, you know, whatever. I don't give a damn. Do my thing. But yeah, you just gotta kind of loot, look around, know what you're doing. Shotgun shells. Usually, I have a hard time finding the shotguns, but, yeah, I find a lot of the ammo for them. The one time I had like 3 shotguns, which I guess was somebody was saying a karma thing for the emotional trauma in my life. I was getting rewarded with that. So another cool thing you can do is you can kind of hold in L3 and then you're able to do like sort of a hot click thing, like a hot wheel, and then you can use RB and you can put away or take out your specific item that you've hotkeyed. So that's sort of a big little help thing if you're just starting out. Because then you can switch between your weapons without having to go into your inventory, which could cause a lot of problems. So these buildings, they're usually good. You'll find like resources like food and stuff like that, maybe like a potato. On the top it's worth looking too, because you can sometimes find guns and stuff now, so that's kind of neat. Before it was useless, but now it actually does. So they have a wee bit of a purpose. It's kind of a dangerous town to be in here, so you got to keep your eyes open and stuff, but I don't know how well the community is going to be doing. Wow, I'm finding tons of that, which I believe is for that one rifle that I commonly find all the time in this, but I never find ammo for. But I'm starting to find more ammo for it, so that's cool. Mad Monk of Oz, sick. That's one of the drink types. So yeah, ideally for water, you're going to want to find like a water bottle, and then you can fill it up, or a canteen. Canteen's a little bit more rare, but, you know, whatever. Water bottles are good. Or you can get a, can't remember what it's called, like cooking pot or something like that. And you're able to fill that up with water and put items in it, but you gotta be careful because some of those items might get drenched. Cool tip is if you find bones from, like, say, a chicken or something like that, you can cut down a bush with a knife, and then you're able to basically make a spear, and that's very powerful. But you don't come across it all too often. I'm just trying to get my loot in and finish up the time here before we get a server restart. That way I can kind of come back and do a similar sort of thing in order to be more deadly. I'm just trying to find like a magazine that fits into the clip of the gun I have. That way I can show gunplay off when we're doing like a bit of a tips and tricks here when we get to that point. See, everybody's violent in this. Nobody likes everybody. So they just got a knife there, and she's just trying to stab me up. When you go to leave a server, there's like a wait time. So I don't know if they're gonna add the ability to quit on console or not. Just be careful of that. You can. Thanks. We got 5 minutes. And I think that's about it for our video runtime today. Let me know what you want to see in DayZ PS4. Obviously, there's lots of other existing guides that I have for the Xbox version, and that directly transfers over to this one. And you can see how well the game could possibly run, which is kind of fun. A flat cap. I'd rather take this because I might be able to take a bullet. Tops.